Hey guys, Sally here. Hope you're having an amazing and fascinating day. I'm having a less amazing but still fascinating day. And of course I'm here with my sidekick, Kit. Say hi to the people, Kit. Kit's not really impressed. If you're wondering why it's so dark in here, I'm going to show you in a minute where we are and what's going on. Actually in less than a minute. But in the meantime, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. If you have subscribed, double check to make sure you still are. Do all the things, hit the notification bell, give the video a thumbs up. Please leave a comment down below and let me know what you think. Oh, and we're gonna roll the intro and then we're gonna talk about why RV life is not always rainbows and unicorns. So, can you see what's outside my window there? Yep, those are tires. Can you see out the front windshield? More tires. And guys working on tires. And over here to the left someplace is a guy working on one of my tires. Here's the deal. I've been having all kinds of issues, and I can't really do anything about the lighting in here because I'm actually in the shop. And Kit's quiet for a minute, so I thought I'd go ahead and talk about this a little bit. So when I bought the RV at the beginning of August, and this is now the beginning of December, so it's been September, October, November, December, almost 4 months. Yay! And oh, by the way, the window gets fixed next week finally. Yay! RV life is not always rainbows and unicorns, guys. Here's what happened. I bought the RV, I went to the tire shop, Discount Tire, had new tires put on, and the guy that did the installation, who I think was one of the managers based on the shirt he was wearing, said he had difficulty getting these valve stem extensions to seal properly and thought that it could continue to be a problem down the road at some point. So I knew that that was potentially an issue, but he soap tested them all and they seemed to be fine. In the ensuing, I'm going to say like 2 months-ish, I kept running into issues where I'd have to go back for this valve stem or that valve stem. And finally, I was in someplace in Indiana, I think. And they offered to order new valve stem extensions for me and call me when they came in. I said, well, how long does that take? He said, they'll be here probably in 3 or 4 days. I said, yeah, I won't be. Because, I wasn't going to be hanging around in Indiana or wherever I was at that point for any length of time. So I said, well, where do you get them from? He said, oh, we just order them from Amazon. And I'm like, okay. So I opened the app on my phone and handed it to him. I said, tell me what it is I need to order. I'll get them. And then the next time I get near a Discount Tire, I'll get them installed. And by the time I got them, I was in Livingston, Texas. So some time had gone by. And just because it was not convenient for me to be able to get an Amazon order any place between Indiana and Texas, as it turned out. I mean, I could have made it work, but I didn't have to. So, and then I went to Athens to get the solar and lithium installed and the window broken. Well, that's not what I went there for, but that's what happened. So when I left Athens, I went, to the next Discount Tire and had the new valve stems installed. Well, on the right-hand side, the guy that did the work on that side failed to secure the valve stem extension for the inner dually. It's a braided steel cable to the wheel rim. And so as a result, I think a couple of days went by before this actually happened. Can't remember exactly. I was someplace else in Texas. I think I was approaching Waco. And at that point, I was about 20 miles from the campground that I was going to. And all of a sudden, the tire pressure in my right inner rear dually, I think there was some redundancy there, went from 86 PSI to 36 PSI. And I remembered having passed an independent tire shop like 5 or 6 miles back down the road. So I pulled over, I called them up, told them what was going on, and they said it was absolutely safe to drive because it was a dually, so I'd be able to get there just fine. By the time I got there, it was showing 0 PSI on my TPMS system. So he pulled the wheel off, inspected the wheel and the tire, and said, look, there's nothing wrong with the tire. The problem is the TPMS sensor has been destroyed because it was flopping around between the two wheels and, getting beat up all the time. So we took the TPMS sensor off he re-aired the tire to make sure it was fine, you know, check the air in the tire, make sure it was fine, put it back on. And so basically I'd been driving since about a month and a half now without a TPMS sensor on that one wheel. I wasn't outrageously concerned about it, but I finally got the new sensors, and before I left the RV park where I was staying this morning, I installed all the sensors. Well, the one on that wheel was showing 0 PSI. And I have a Ryobi 1 inflator, which is pretty good most of the time, but it didn't have enough oomph to be able to air up that tire. However, there was a big O tire shop that was like, I don't know, 3 blocks away from the RV park. So I went there, they aired up the tire, and I was feeling pretty punk because I drove another like 4 miles to go to Walmart, went in, did my shopping, came out, and it was still holding air. Well, within 3 miles of having left Walmart, I was back down to 0 PSI. Not good. So that was probably 1 o'clock this afternoon. It was about 1:30 when I finally got over here to Discount Tire. And yeah, they're working on it. Hope they can actually get it fixed. I think what I'm going to end up doing is ask them if it's okay if I just stay in their parking lot tonight, because I want to make sure it's okay before I leave again in the morning. I was supposed to be out in the middle of nowhere this afternoon hanging out with a friend who's already there. And where we're going is, you know, pretty far out of town. And so I don't want to get out there and find out I got a problem again. I want to make sure that this is okay before I leave civilization. So that's kind of my plan right now. And if they don't want to let me sleep here, there's a couple other parking lots I can go Tardock for the night. So that's what I'm going to do. And then we'll see what we've got tomorrow morning. So that's what's going on. But let's talk about the whole rainbows and unicorns thing. Is this inconvenient? Yes, of course it is. Is it a problem I would rather not be having? Yes, of course it is. Is it going to be solvable, and am I going to end up with a resolution that's going to work long term? I believe I am. And I believe this will be behind me, and then everything will be fine. That's what I believe. So, you know, it's that whole thing. I've done a couple other videos on this kind of thing. I mean, for me, it's like life hands you lemons, hands me lemons. I make lemonade. I don't have sour grapes. It would be fairly easy for me to be unhappy with Discount Tire. I think this is the 7th or 8th time I've had to be in one trying to get these issues addressed. And the reality is, all of the people that work at them are very, very nice. And for example, with the last iteration where I ended up losing a TPMS sensor and I had to pay an independent shop to, you know, find out whether or not I had a problem, Discount Tire reimbursed me for both of those items. And it wasn't like I had to beg or anything. I mean, the manager of the store in Texas, I'll tell you this part, this is pretty funny. I got a survey for, you know, to report on my experience with the store in Texas that had actually caused the problem. And I filled out the survey, and, you know, including things like, would you recommend Discount Tire? And yes, I still would. But so I filled out the whole survey, and then at the end of it, there was, you know, space for more comments. So I detailed for them all of the dates in different locations, starting in Roscoe, Illinois, where I had the tires installed, actually McChesney or something like that, Illinois, near Roscoe and Rockford, where I had the tires installed. You know, all of the places I'd had to stop along the way between Illinois and Indiana and Maryland and Pennsylvania and Virginia and West Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, and Texas. All the places that I'd stopped all the way along the way. And I put in the dates and so forth at all of those places and what the issues had been that they were supposed to be addressing, and the fact that I continue having ongoing issues. I had pressed submit on the survey, and I would say within about 3 minutes or less, I had a phone call from the manager of that store. And he was very apologetic and very empathetic and sympathetic both about the experience that I had had and how it really wasn't satisfactory or what they were looking for. And so, you know, he actually flat out asked me what he could do to, you know, to make me be a satisfied customer. And so I said, well, I'm pretty annoyed that, you know, I had to pay an independent shop and I've ruined a TPMS sensor. And he said, we'll be happy to reimburse you for those things. And they did. I've got the check in my hand actually right now. I haven't deposited it yet. And, you know, so I can't be upset about that kind of customer service. I can't be upset about things that are kind of beyond anyone's control, including Kit's. Here, Kit. Kit, do you want to tell the people what's going on? What is what's going on? That there's way too much activity sitting in the shop? Yeah. And there's people working on our house? Yeah. Yeah. And it's very upsetting, isn't it? Yeah. 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 It's okay. It's okay. So we're still sitting here. And I'm okay with that. I've been here, I think about 2.5 hours at this point. And, you know, it is what it is. I'm just going to go find a place to park for the night and see what we got in the morning. And I'm hopeful that what we've got is going to be awesome and the problems are going to be resolved and this is the end of it. That's what I'm hoping for. Oh, so what else happened as a result of this whole fiasco with the sensor? So I decided to order a single new sensor to replace the one that was damaged because I've got a TPMS system, TPMS system that's been perfectly fine. But when I was at the Hershey RV show in September, one of the things that I saw is that they've got a new monitor out that is much better than the old monitor. It syncs to the sensors much more quickly. It's got a big clear display that's much easier to read. And so I decided, and this was right around Black Friday when I ordered it, I think. Or maybe, no, it was before that. So I decided to go ahead and buy the new monitor as well as the sensor because the compatibility is as long as your sensors are newer than the 44th week of 2021, they'll work with the new system. So I looked up my order for the previous sensors and I had ordered them in December of 2021, which would be, you know, like the 51st week. And I was thinking that that would be fine. Well, it turns out it's not fine. It turns out that my other 5 sensors would not pair with the new monitor. So then I'm stuck with, do I return the new monitor and live with the old one, or do I suck it up and buy new sensors? And that's what happened over Black Friday. The sensors were on sale, so I decided to go ahead and buy new ones. I've got the one new one that I bought because they come either in singles or in 2-packs. 2-packs were cheaper. So I need to return the one single one back, and I'm going to ask them to give me a little bit more credit than just the purchase price because it seems to me that it was not reasonable that I was buying what was really old stock at that point. We'll see what happens, but I'm hopeful. All right, I'll get back to you and let you know what the outcome of this is when we get there. Well, I was really hopeful that this was all over with, but I don't think so. So we can see a sensor right there. And I can't see a sensor anyplace else. I can see the hose down there. But I have a feeling the sensor has just been flopping around between the wheels again. So that's an issue. And then this happened on the way up here. I had this guy that was following me, and he came up to pass me at one point and then backed off because the road changed. And then he came up again and pulled over in front of me and then pulled over on the shoulder, and he's waving frantically for me to pull over because he wanted to let me know that I had lost a wheel cover. So there's that. He had a pretty good idea where it was. I did go back to try and find it and couldn't. And so, oops, Kit just let himself out. And so, yeah, it's not over yet. Maybe soon.